everyone, and welcome to our newest edition of Balance Builders. My name is Andrea and I will be your instructor today. For our class today, all you really need is a chair. So you want to have a chair that you can sit up nice and tall, have your feet flat on the ground. It can have armrests or no armrests at all. So that's all you need to have close by. And if you'd like to have some water, it's always important to stay well hydrated, especially this time of the year. So let's start off getting warmed up and just shake out that body. So as most of you know, Balance Builders, we're really focusing on training the balance systems in our body and maintaining strength, especially in the lower half. Now I want you to bring that shaking to stillness, and let's move into some hugs, get those arms warmed up. So you wrap the arms across, right over left, and then left over right. Good, nice stretch through the chest and stretch through the back. And now I want you to take that hug movement and we're going to change it to an overhead movement for some palm tree. One arm over, one arm under. Nice big reach, stretch, and reach, stretch. Good. You can match your breathing and inhale as you reach over and then exhale as you relax down. And now let's work into that torso, some torso rotations, warming up through the core, that's the abdominals and the back. And slowly bring that movement to stillness, and let's work into the hips now. So if you have a table or a countertop or a chair back nearby, you may want to use that for a little point of anchoring or stability. We're going to stand on one leg and just do a pendulum swing, swinging it front to back. I just kicked my chair. And you only bring the leg as high as you comfortably can. Just want to loosen up it through that hip joint. And now I want you to keep that foot floated just up off the ground and point and flex through the ankle and do some ankle circles in both directions. Now let's relax down, shake out the legs. Lots of times you feel some warmth or some work in that support leg. So if you need to take a break, do a couple pendulum swings and then lower the leg down and take a break if it's too intense in that hip on the side that's supporting us. And then bring that leg to stillness, just floating the foot up off the ground, pointing and flexing and rolling the ankle in both directions. Good. All right, that was just a nice, gentle, dynamic stretch to get our body prepared for our balance routine. Now I want you to start off into a slow march. Believe it or not, the march is one of our top 10 balance exercises. So with the march, you're standing as tall as you can, shoulders over top of hips, and you're moving in opposition, opposite arm, opposite leg, only lifting the knee up as high as you comfortably can. Now, the more slowly you make the movement, the harder it is, the more balance work you're going to get. The higher you lift the knee, the harder it is. So you decide where you are at today, and you work there. Okay? You always have that countertop, that chair, that table close by in case you feel yourself get a little bit wobbly. And let's bring that march down to stillness. I want you to now combine an overhead press with the march. So as I lift up a knee, my other arm is reaching overhead. It's a lift press and a lift press. Good. And a lift press and lift press. Now I want you to go as slow as you can for this last one. Try to hold that balance. And now switch. Slow, lift and press. And hold. Good, relaxing down. Now let's go into our rock the boat. So for rock the boat, we're going to start off with our feet slightly further than hip distance. And we're going to have a soft bend in the knee. And we're just going to lean side to side. So it's like I'm on a boat out in the open water. It's getting a little choppy. And I'm swaying side to side. Now if you need a little bit more of a challenge, you can start to lift up one foot as you lean to the side. So it becomes a side to side, but I'm just floating that foot up off the ground. Just like with that march, the slower I go, the higher I lift that leg, the harder it's going to be. Good, let's get one more on each side. Nice slow rocking boat. Try to hold and balance wherever you're at. Good, and a lift, hold, balance wherever you're at. And back to center. Let's take that same concept that we just did laterally or side to side. And let's take it front to back. So we're going to have 1 foot forward and 1 foot back. The wider I set my feet apart, the wider my base, the more stable I'm going to be. Closer together my feet are, okay, that's gonna be a little bit more challenging. So we're just going to bend the front leg, bend that knee, lean forward, and then I lean back, bending that back leg, the back knee, and forward, and back. Now, how do we increase the challenge with this movement? Why, of course, when we are leaning forward, we can just float up that back leg, and then I can float up the front leg. As slow as I can, float up the back leg if that's what you're feeling today, and float up the front leg. One more time. Floating that foot just up off the ground as slow as I can. And now let's switch sides. So if I had my right leg forward, now I want the left leg forward. Get those feet set up, nice staggered stance. 1 foot forward, 1 foot back, and I start with that rock front, front knee bent, and rock back, back knee bent, and front, and back. This is a great one to do in the pool as well. Float that back foot up if you're feeling that, and front foot up. Now you may notice that your balance is stronger on one side than the other, and that's perfectly normal. We tend to be stronger or have some imbalances, but we always want to try to work to even those out. Let's get one more. Rocking front, floating that foot up, and now rocking back. Excellent. All right, we are ready to move into our balance exercises now. We're going to kind of target some areas. Now, as you know, if you've watched before, your balance really works off of 3 main systems in the body. The eyes, the vision, vestibular, inner ear, and then also those receptors on the bottoms of our feet. So if you start to have any loss of vision, hearing, feeling due to neuropathy, lack of circulation, nerve problems in the feet, all of those mechanisms can affect your balance. So we want to make sure we're training the others to compensate or help us out for that. So clock reach is our first exercise. I want you standing as tall as you can, shoulders over top of hips. I can have my countertop in front of me or my chair back. Now, if we're going to be moving our right arm, okay, so if I'm moving my right arm, I'm going to lift up my right foot off the ground. Okay, so I have my right arm extended forward, I'm holding on to my countertop or my chair, and I have my right foot lifted up off the floor. Now we're going to pretend that this right arm is a clock hand. It's going to start at 12, it's going to move to 3, and then it's going to move back behind to 6. And then I swing through to close. 3 times total. 12, 3, 6. Excellent. This one is not easy. We're incorporating movement into the balance. 12, 3, 6, and close. Now let's switch to the other side. We're asking our brain and our body to multitask, so that's how we're going to actually challenge, increase that intensity. So let's get set up, holding on to your chair back, to your counter. Now I'm using my left arm, so my left arm is pointing forward. I'm going to just float up that left foot off the floor. And now I start the hand straight in front of the body. I move out to the side at about 90 degrees, and then I reach back behind as far as I can. Sweep, close, in front, side, and back. Sweep, close. Good. Front, side, back. Sweep, close. So that exercise is called clock reach. If standing on one foot is too difficult, too challenging, you can keep both feet on the ground and go through that same movement. You can also make it a little bit more difficult by following the hand with the eyes, so actually incorporating some head movement. Clock reach, great balance exercise. Our next exercise is a heel and a toe raise. So once again, I am standing tall, shoulders over top of hips, belly button in. I can be holding on to my counter, my chair back, and we're going to really work to strengthen the calves up the back of the leg, as well as the muscles that run along the front of the leg or the shin to keep those ankles strong. We don't want our foot flopping as we walk, so we're going to strengthen those supporting muscle groups. So as tall as I can, shoulders over top of hips, pretend you have a book on top of your head. I want you to just lift those heels up, bring it back down, and now lift the toes up. Now the toe lift can just be your toes lifting up inside of your shoes. We don't want a big rock and bend backwards. We want to maintain that book balance right on top of our head. So let's do 10 of them. It's a heel lift and a toe lift, and a heel lift and a toe lift. Good. Heels and toes, heels and toes, heels and toes. Nice and tall, shoulders over hips, belly button in. Let's get 5 and 4. Doing great work. 3, 2, and last 1. Now, if you were finding that exercise too challenging standing, you can do that seated as well. So from that chair, you can do your heel lift and your toe lift. So you've got a lot of options, but still a great strengthening exercise either way. We're going to move next to our leg lifts. So focusing on that leg strength and balance, holding on to your chair back or your countertop. We're going to take one leg and we're going to lift it to the front. We're going to lift it out to the side and then back behind. So it's just a small movement. We don't want any leaning, any directions. Once again, right back to that book, balancing the book on top of the head. Here we go. One leg lifting to the front, come back to center, lift it to the side, back to center, and behind the body. Back to center, reset, shake the legs out if you need to, and let's repeat again. We're going to do 5 total. Front, back to center, side, back to center, behind, center. That's 2. Front and side and back. Good. That's 3. 2 more. Front and side and back. Last round, front, side, back. All right, shake out those legs. Once again, you probably are feeling a lot of intensity in that support leg, so if you need a break at any time, you take it. We don't want any pain. We don't want to exacerbate or make anything worse. We're trying to strengthen. So now transitioning to the opposite side. Make sure that support leg maintains a nice soft knee. We don't want the knees locked out. Nice little bend is good. So we're going to go to the front, back to the center, the side, back to the center, and behind. 5 total. That was 1. Here comes number 2, to the front, to the side, and behind. Good. Front, side, behind. Just 2 more. Going front, side, behind. Last 1. Front, side, and behind. Now, modification for this one. We could be seated in a chair and we could do some leg extensions for that front leg lift, and then we can also take the leg out to the side for the side leg lift portion. So if you ever need to modify, you can also do most of that series from a seated position. Let's go back to more balance and hold. So I have my chair and my countertop for that stability that I can anchor onto. I want you to take your right arm, reach it up overhead. Nice and long stretch. Now that left leg is just going to come right up off the ground. So just lifting the left foot, the toes up off the ground, and try to hold for 3 seconds. 2 and 1. Relax down. And let's switch to the opposite side. Extend the arm up. Feel nice and anchored and balanced and then slowly lift the heel up off the ground, rolling up through the ball of the foot and the toes. And if I'm comfortable, I'm going to float those toes, float that foot up off the ground and try to hold. 3, 2, 1. Relax down. Switch. We're going to do each side 3 times. Arm extends up, anchored and balanced, slowly lifting the foot up off the ground if that's where I'm at, or maybe I have my toes still touching. Whatever is working for me today. And release and switch. Overhead reach, float the foot up, balance, hold. Beautiful. Relax. One more time each side. Overhead reach, feel balanced, strong, tight core, belly button into that spine. Float the foot up. Good. 3, 2, 1. Again, float up. Oh, let's keep working. We've got this. And last time, reaching overhead, feeling balanced, feeling stable, floating the foot up. That's where I'm at today. And relax down. Go ahead and shake everything out. Now I want you to move to that chair. So we're going to go ahead and take a seat. In our chair, we're going to work sit to stands. This is one of my favorite exercises because super simple. You can do it every day, a couple times a day. You're watching TV, do 8 to 10 sit to stands during the commercial break. You're reading a great book. In between each chapter, do a couple sit to stands. So I am sitting on the edge of my chair. I have my feet flat on the ground. My knees are at a 90-degree angle, nice bend. I'm sitting tall. I'm going to try to use all leg strength here to push myself up to a standing position. And then controlled, slowly sitting back down, okay? If you need a little assistance, your legs are feeling a little weak today, you can push off of the chair or the armrest if you have armrests, or you can even push off of the top of your legs to give a little assistance. So we're going to do 8 of these total. Sit to stands. Ready? Here we go. Standing up, nice and controlled, and then lowering back down, nice and controlled. That's not easy. We get used to just kind of plopping or throwing ourselves down in the chair. I want you to control the movement on both ends. So up, 3, 2, 1, down, 3, 2, 1, up, 3, 2, 1, down, 3, 2, 1. You're halfway. 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. Excellent. 3 more. Up, controlled, breathing. If you need a break, you stop and take it. You're doing as many as you comfortably can today. Trying for 8, but if I get 5, if I get 3, that's better than 0. Last one, and back down. Excellent work. All right, go ahead, sit for a second, take a breather, finish up your repetitions, and remember, during commercial breaks, in between those chapters, sit to stands. Sorry, it's warm out here today. Need lots of water. So let's move into 4 corners. 4 corners, I'm going to stand up out of my chair, standing as tall as I can, shoulders over top of the hips, belly button into that spine. I want you to choose a leg. We're going to work both sides, obviously. And with my starting leg, I'm going to tap the toes right in front of the body. And I'm going to tap out to the side. I'm going to tap straight behind and then tap across. I come back to center, take a break. That's 1, okay? So here we go. We're going to do that 4 times on each side. And we're tapping front, side, back, bringing it across. And front, side, back, bringing it across. Good, that's 2. Front, side, back, across. That's 3. Front, side, back, across for 4. Check out those legs. 4 corners, 4 times on the other side. Here we go. Front, side, back, and sweeping across. Good. Front, side, back, across, that's 2, halfway, front, side, back, across, that's 3, and front, side, back, sweep across for 4. Beautiful. Last exercise before we go and test our balance progression, see where we're at today. So our final exercise is a knee lift and a knee press. So I'm going to be standing on one foot, holding on to the back of my chair or my countertop. My other leg, the knee is bent, so it's a knee lift, and then it's a knee press back. So let me show you from this side. It's a knee lift and a knee press back. A knee lift and a press back. Okay, when we press back, we want to be focusing on our glute muscles back here. Very important group of muscles with that lower body strength. So let's aim for 5 on each side. Ready? Here we go. Shoulders over top of hips, belly button in. Holding on to that chair or that counter. Knee lift and press back for 1. Knee lift and press back for 2. Good, keep that foot flexed. Knee lift and press back. 3. Knee lift and press back. 4. Let's get one more. Knee lift and press back for 5. Remember, support leg always has a bent knee. Okay, keeping that knee, soft knee, never locking out. Here we are. Knee lift, my foot is flexed. Press back for 1. Squeeze through those glutes. Knee lift and press back for 2. Knee lift and press back for 3. Knee lift and press back for 4. Last one. Knee lift and press back for 5. Woo, bravo, nice work. All right, shake those legs out. Let's run through our balance progression. So we are standing tall as always, belly button in, shoulders over top of hips, feet about hip distance apart, nice soft knees. And we're just going to stand and try to not hold on to anything. Do a body scan. How do you feel? Do you feel stable? Do you feel balanced? Do you feel grounded? If so, we can challenge our body by now closing our eyes. So if I take away my vision, I can no longer spot for balance with my eyes. It's all vestibular in my ears, as well as those receptors on the bottoms of my feet. Good. Go ahead and open the eyes if you had them closed. If that was pretty simple still, with the eyes closed, the way we can make it more challenging is to go into a tandem foot stance. So tandem foot stance, I'm going to put one foot directly in front of the other, okay, as if I was standing on a tightrope. So one foot directly in front of the other. If you're already finding this too difficult, you can either go back to step 1, which was just standing on 2 feet with those eyes closed, or you can try staggering the feet, taking them a little bit wider, making that wider base. So tandem foot stance. Standing on that tightrope, shoulders over hips. Got my countertop, my table nearby, my chair back. How do I feel? Do I feel pretty stable? If so, go ahead and close the eyes. Take away the visual spotting. And now really training and working the ears, vestibular, receptors on the bottoms of the feet. Let's hold 3 more seconds. 2, and last 1. Now let's switch to the opposite side. I want you to put the opposite foot in front. Many of us notice a change, maybe stronger, maybe weaker. But remember, we want to evenly work both sides. Here we are, standing tandem foot stance. How do I feel? If I feel pretty stable, then I can go ahead and close my eyes. Good. Eyes closed, breathing, or eyes open. You've got 3, 2, 1, and relax. Shake them out. Great work. Okay, so the third and final phase in the balance progression is what's typically called a stork stance, and that's where you stand on one leg and balance. So when we had 2 feet of our standard 2-foot balance, eyes open, eyes closed, that was easy, check. Then we went on to tandem foot stance, eyes open, eyes closed. Remember both sides. If that was easy, then that means I'm now ready for the stork. So stork is standing on one foot. If you do not feel ready for stork, then I want you working wherever you're at, either tandem or the two-footed stance. Holding there. Okay, really try to hold this balance, this last balance for 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Take a breath. And now if you were standing stork or tandem, you need to switch those feet. If not, just stay right. If you're in 2 foot, stay right on those 2 feet. All right, we're balancing, breathing. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Excellent. So wherever you are, standing on 2 feet, standing in tandem, standing on stork stance, that's where I want you to work every day. Incorporate it into your everyday activities. I'm rinsing the dishes, standing with tandem feet. I'm brushing my teeth. Okay, always work in that balance. If we don't fight for it, we will lose it. So the more you can weave these exercises throughout your day, it doesn't have to be a big production of an exercise class. You can just pick and choose some of these exercises and throw them in as you go about your day. Well, thank you for being here for Balance Builders, and stay well until next time. Bye-bye.